Well, I've been looking at quite a few router tables lately, and it's become quite the rabbit hole, but there was a couple versions that I hadn't looked at yet, like these Powertec models. There's a benchtop version as well as a full-size table, so I'll let you know some of the things I like about these models, as well as a couple things that could be improved. Well, when I look around the shop and think, what do I have that's Powertec brand? It tends to be smaller things like dust collection fittings, T-bolts, hardware, things like that. You know, I do have a 24-inch fence that I fitted to my custom router table. That one's a Powertec, so I'll give you a look at that setup in a minute. But first, let's have a look at their benchtop router table, just the way it comes. So this one has an angled metal leg set. I find that nice and stable. Really reminds me of the Craig style portable router table, and Trend Tools makes another one that has a very similar base, and those really worked for me, so I was hopeful that this would do a good job, and you know, the base didn't disappoint. No leg levelers underneath, but there's holes provided if you want to add something like that yourself or just permanently mount it to your bench. This one gives you an aluminum router plate, which I typically prefer. This one comes pre-drilled for a variety of routers. I use the Bosch 1617, and it was a direct bolt-on for that. And as far as the track up top, I typically prefer a combination track that gives you both a miter slot as well as a T-track slot. This one is just the miter slot, so if you like to use a miter gauge, it can handle you there. Or what I probably use more is just a feather board. So long as it has that style of hardware that does fit into a miter slot, that should have you covered. I always like to see these sliding faces on a router table fence so you can dial in that opening around your bit. And plus I think it helps to get nice dust collection as well. One thing that didn't work for me was the factory knobs that came with this fence. They just are a little hard to get your hand around, so I replaced them with these slightly taller mushroom style knobs from Rockler, and this just makes all the difference. It totally secures the fence. It's easy to use. It just solved any issue I had with those factory knobs. This one comes with a seriously heavy duty aluminum fence extrusion. It's actually heavier duty than the one that comes on the full-size router table, so I'll show you that one in just a sec. But another feature that comes with this is different profiles of joiner rods, so round and square depending on how deep you want to cut. I would say I don't use these very often, but you know, if you like to use your router table like a mini joiner, these are available. Just put them between the sliding fence and the aluminum extrusion on the outfeed side, and you'll have that function. There's a pretty typical dust port on the back that accepts 2 1/4 inch fittings, so almost universal for your shop vac gear. And then as promised, let's get a quick look at my custom router table. I call it an X-leg router table. It also has an angled base that I made from plywood, so it's got some interesting features, so let's take a look. So this is an idea that I've had brewing in my head for years really, and I finally took the time to build a couple different versions on this. This is the X-leg set. I also have a similar K-leg set that's a little more enclosed in the back. I'll put video resources down below if you want to check out some of the processes on how to build these, but the basic idea is the sides are angled to 10 degrees, and that fits into an angled dado in these feet components, and that's nice because it gives you a good spot to clamp everything down to your bench. If you are going to build your own router table, you need to think through several different specs, like how thick the top should be. This one actually uses a double layer of 3/4 inch MDF, and honestly it might be just a little bit overkill for a portable router table. 1 inch thick might be better, but it gives you plenty of room for adding accessories like channels for T-track, and those are Powertec T-track as well. I use those up front for accessories and then in the back to mount that fence. And here's that identical fence that they have on their portable router table, so exact same specs on this one. And then I used a sped tool router lift on that one, if you can imagine a router lift on a portable table, but basically I needed a second setup that could handle all the operations I could do on my large router table. And here this one has those factory Powertec knobs on it, and you can see there's just no great way to get a good crank on that, so I do recommend switching those over if you get a chance. And these tall Rockler knobs are still a really good deal. You get 2 of them for $6. Compare that to these small female knobs that are $6 a piece, and this little custom fence I built takes 6 of them. Yikes. And that's a neat little stop block I came up with that actually rides in the T-Track, and was the only way I could find to really compete with the manufactured aluminum versions, but boy, that's good and sturdy. And if this router table topic is speaking your language, do me a favor and hit me with a quick thumbs up. And please do consider subscribing to The Thoughtful Woodworker so you don't miss the next video. And then I'll go over the good, the bad, and the perplexing on this full-size router table. And then we'll finish things up today by showing you my favorite affordable dust collection at the router table. It's my figure 8 dust separator. This is a pretty nice setup. It's got a full 1-inch thick top, that same track profile that we saw on the Benchtop unit, and I believe you can get your choice of router plates. On this one, I went with the phenolic version, which I usually prefer aluminum, but this one was actually good quality, and it's got the twist lock inserts, same kind that the aluminum plate uses, so actually this works just fine. I did have to drill this out for my Bosch 1617, but I will say the system they have on this to guide you is one of the best I've seen. There's little dimples on the back side, so simply identify the letter for your machine. On the 1617, it was just the letter A, boom, 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 3 holes at the drill press, chamfer it in reverse, and it fit perfect on the first try. 2 more details I like. I always like to see the rounded corners, which if you noticed on the portable router table, it was a square corner, pretty sharp, so I wish they could have radiused that, similar to this, but this one they got it right. And the other thing is the way that the fence mounts. We've got through slots here, and I always prefer that when I can get it over a T-Track mount. And I've been trying to incorporate that detail on some of my other custom router tables, like this K-leg base made from phenolic coated plywood. How sweet is that? So we've got the same knobs on the full-size fence as we did on the portable unit, but again, that's an easy fix to swap those out. But one negative for me that I was really surprised by is that this fence extrusion is actually not as heavy duty as the portable version, and if you're in a situation where there's some real force exerted, you can deflect that. So down here on a 3/4 inch stock being routed, it'll probably never be an issue, but if you like to do raised panels where the cut is vertical, you could see some deflection there. All right, I think that covers the good and the bad. Let's look at the perplexing, and on this router table, there's definitely 2 things that fit the category. The first is the leg set. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's a good sturdy metal leg set. It's got an option for a lower shelf there. It's just the color on the product listing was solid black, and what showed up had these orange rails, so don't let that surprise you if it looks like this. And the other thing that caught me off guard was this flip stop, which I really like metal flip stops. I've made custom versions, and it's hard to get them to be as sturdy as an aluminum version like this, but when you flip it down, it's gapped out away from the fence, almost like it was built for an auxiliary fence to be placed in there, but on this system, there's no means to do that. Well, my first thought was this is just reversed, and I have to undo this bolt, flip the block over, and remount it. And in fact, I did have to do that with the flip stop that came on my portable router table, and it solved the issue on that because it came assembled backwards. This one, it doesn't matter how you assemble this or which way you position it, it just doesn't fit correctly. It's not a good match for this profile. Again, this fence profile is different than the portable version, so my hope is that they update this full-size version to use the same heavy-duty profile that's on their smaller router table. And the only other way you can position it is like this, but in that orientation, it won't go all the way down. And then just a little bit of show and tell. Here's my figure 8 dust collector, and this has been working out perfect at the router table or chop saw. I have other solutions that are a little pricey, like the Oneida Dust Cobra, but if that's not in the cards for you, this is a great option, and you can use it with whatever shop vac you already have. I was super frustrated with a basic shop vac just because the filter clogs up almost immediately at my router table, so I started using a separator. And then the issue is you have these 2 clunky things, a shop vac linked only by flexible hoses with this separator. It's just not very easy to manage. So my solution is simple, just to make a little figure 8 piece out of plywood, and that makes 1 cart basically that lets the separator float along with wherever the shop vac goes, and this just works great. So I'll put that video resource down below if you want to check it out. So aside from a couple little quirks, these are decent router tables, especially that portable version. I think that one is almost perfect. Just swap it out for some higher quality knobs, and it's a really good serviceable router table. Links are down below if you want to check it out, and please sub up and stay tuned for the next video.